Sony's upcoming cheat the rich and eat the rich competitive heist live service title Fairgames isn't doing so well for them. The initial teasers and trailers got absolutely wrecked by gamers who were just really underwhelmed with the theme and also the fact that we didn't see any gameplay didn't sit well with a lot of us. And now we're finding out that it has lost its studio founder after growing concerns about how the game was received and its progress. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, everything surrounding Fairgames has not been so positive so far, and apparently they did a recent external test, and it was a nightmare. Now, keep in mind, the situation with Haven Studios, the developers, is very similar to what happened with Firewalk. They were creating their first game. Sony went out of their way to buy both of these studios, thinking their titles were going to be mega hits. And of course, we know how Concord ended, where Sony ended up shutting down the studio, ended development. It was only on the market for 2 weeks. I don't even think Fairgames is going to make it to the market with this news. So this is a Bloomberg article by Jason Schreier. It says Jade Raymond, the founder and head of Sony Group Corp's game developers, Haven Studios, has left the company. That is never a good look when you have a studio founder being like, all right, guys, peace. PlayStation leadership didn't give Haven's staff a reason for her departure, but it came several weeks after an external test of Haven's first game, the online shooter Fairgames, according to people with knowledge of the matter. Some developers at Haven were concerned about how the game was received and its progress, said the people, who asked not to be identified because they aren't authorized to speak publicly. Now, Jade Raymond is a very interesting individual within this industry. She's used to be part of Ubisoft. She helped with Assassin's Creed. She was pretty big. And then ever since, she's kind of joined studios, either sold studios or watched their closures, and then just gone on to the next project. Like, she was the head of Stadia Games, which is interesting given, of course, how epically Stadia failed. And now what she's done is she had started Haven, she sold it to Sony, and now she's just wiping her hands clean of it. I don't know how she continues to get so many high up positions within this industry, especially when she hasn't really created a game in well over a decade. But regardless, she's an interesting figure. It says, though, Jade Raymond has been an incredible partner and visionary force in founding Haven Studios, a PlayStation spokesperson said in a statement. We are deeply grateful for her leadership and contributions, and we will wish her all the best in her next chapter. Now, because she used to work on titles like Assassin's Creed, I think that she has gained a lot of connections, and with Haven, there were quite a few industry vets that were a part of it. So I think that that is, of course, what caught Sony's eye and why Sony went out on a limb and purchased Haven Studios. But I don't think that Sony should be doing this. It's clear with what happened with Concord and Firewalk Studios, and now what's happening with Haven and Fairgames. First of all, the people buying these studios don't know what gamers actually want and don't know what the future of the gaming industry is going to look like at all whatsoever. But it also just shows that they don't really know games in general. They aren't actually going out of their way to purchase a studio that has a reputation, that has a level of trust with customers. They're hoping that they're going to create the next big entity when really all they're doing is wasting hundreds of millions of dollars. It says, though, Fairgames, announced in 2023, is one of the few entries remaining in a slate greenlit by PlayStation several years ago of live service games, or games that are designed to generate reoccurring revenue. And I don't blame companies for just trying to chase the next big trend, but we have seen Sony fail time and time again with live service. I think that they need to realize it needs to be let go of. And we don't really have a lot of information on this game, to be fair. We know a little bit about it, but definitely not enough to get hyped in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't look good, at least in my opinion, and judging by the reaction to the initial trailer, there aren't a lot of people who are excited for it. I mean, it just looks like modern audience slop. I don't like the color scheme. I don't like the aesthetics. I know that they're saying that it's going to be new and unique, original. I don't think so. I've always been passionate about creating new IPs that offer a sense of mystery and a window into different subcultures of society. In many ways, I feel like my own experience and the collective experience of our entire team creating new IP and working on captivating multiplayer games has led us here. Fairgames will give you an opportunity to break the rules as a modern-day Robin Hood, a thrill seeker, or just someone who wants to collect cool loot. Trespass inside forbidden locations around the world, fill your pockets like a kid in a candy store, and unravel the nefarious plans of untouchable billionaires. So it's eat the rich, cheat the rich. You're trying to steal from these billionaires. And it doesn't necessarily sound like a bad concept. It's just when you only show me an initial CGI trailer for a game launch, I can only get so excited, right? Because I'm not buying a movie. I'm buying a video game. So I want to actually see the video game. I want to see the gameplay, but instead they're just trying to show you all these shiny, fancy things that are happening, whether they look like the advertisements that are on screen right now, or it's like that building, and then there's the smoke and the gunfire, and I just want to see the actual game itself because teasers and trailers that are CGI can be wildly different from the final product, and well, the reaction wasn't positive. This came out a year ago. It has 451,000 views, 4.3k likes to 56,000 dislikes. That is an insane ratio, and the comments, of course, are not positive. Want to see me lose $400 million? Want to see me do it again? Are you sure you want to go through with this after Concord, Sony? You want to know about us? No. Eat the rich. $800 console without a disk drive by default. I think that that's so funny. You actually can feel Sony sweating nervously through the screen. Sony is not looking for a game of the year. They are looking to break the 12-day record. I don't know if that is going to happen, but it wouldn't particularly surprise me. I think that they should just shelve this. I think that judging by the initial reaction, which was not positive, and also hearing that apparently they decided to let go of this studio founder, or she agreed to leave, whatever the case may be. That's not a good look. And on top of that, apparently a big issue was that just recently they did this external test and it had growing concerns about how the game was received and its progress. So it sounds like it's in a state of disaster. And if Sony has already put a lot of money into it, I guess that kind of sucks for them. But I think it'd be better to keep it on the shelves instead of releasing it and potentially breaking Concord's 12-day record. So I'll be keeping my eye on this, of course. I'm interested to see if they actually make any statements, if soon we even get any sort of teasers and trailers, but right now it seems like this game is pretty dead, and so is Haven Studios. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.